Hello, this is Hello. Track number two. It's probably not gonna stay named that way, but it's the name I fell upon for now. And yeah, it's my analysis of track two really, and I don't see why I shouldn't jump straight in. So yeah, this one's a bit more simple than the last one. I thought I'd take this one to Jack just as the 8 bar loop, just to see what he kind of does with it, because the original idea was that it was meant to be an interlude, as you can see from the track length. Oh, so it wasn't even a loop. It's a 16 bar. I remember now. That was meant to be the whole track, but as you'll see in 2 weeks or so, it's been expanded quite a lot with an introduction, different parts, a verse, a hook, and actually a feature as well, which I found online, which I'll remember now to document. Um, so yeah, not too much to it. With this track, I've made use of I've attempted to use my Roland a bit more, my hardware, because I thought it'd be nice to expand my knowledge base a bit more and learn about synthesis, like actual synthesis, which I think has helped me a lot really. I've got my Roland sat right next to me, and yeah, I think I'll start by explaining that. So this is the same patch on my Roland. Yeah, so these are the same patch, recorded in 2 takes, just because I'll do audio one over here, do my take for a little bit, listen to it in the loop, and then figure out where the second part of the melody will go. I think what I've discovered through making this EP recently is a lot of music is very call and response. So I'll have the call and then the response at the end of the bar, which is nice. I think it ties it together quite well. Yeah, I'll give it a little listen through now. I've used a mix of both MIDI and audio files. I think you can tell why I've chose to make this an interlude. It's very middle of the road. I don't know where it's going, but yeah, I mean, here's the bass, the other element of the Roland. As you can see, the audio file here is a bit messed up, but it is a mono file instead of a stereo. So I'm not sure why it's cutting and starting again here. I mean, in regards to the sound, it sounds pretty full, like everything else here. Minimal mixing. Even in the almost finished version of the song I have with Jack now, this isn't, it hasn't got anything added. A nice thing about the Roland is a lot of the sounds are so raw, lo-fi, just like natural old sounds. You don't really need to add much at all, which I feel like is a lot different from a lot of the new stuff. You got to tweak it about and make it your own, but a lot of the old patches are kind of as is, which is nice. Added a bit of sidechain compression. Okay, I'll explain what this does. So sidechain compression, in this case, basically acts to duck the bass when this kick is playing. It's quite heavy, but it's kind of what you want, because I've discovered that making a kick too loud can mess with the track sonically. So you kind of want to put it in its place and make sure there's not too much clashing with it to make sure it fits nicely. So yeah, got the side chain on that. In regards to mixing on this simple little piano thing, not too much. I got my bit crusher. As I explained earlier in class on my old explanation, this kind of adds a bit of an edge to the piano which wasn't previously there. It is just a basic classic electric piano, which is probably my favourite preset. Even though it's the bass preset, I just love it, and people don't really like it that much. Don't know why. Yeah, but they don't. So adding a bit crusher has kind of made it my own a bit. Really subtle EQ with this EQ I found online, and a vinyl effect as well, which kind of removes a lot of the high end, some of the low end, I believe. Adds some dust, scratching to taste, which I've decided to take down a bit, and some warping as well, just in order to create that lo-fi sound, which kind of fits with these two guys. So yeah, I mean, other than that, this kick, of course, once again taught to me by Jack. Before I'd have this all the way up here, which isn't really the best thing for most genres or sounds. It could be for certain sounds, but in general, if you are looking to cut the high end off of a kick, putting it around the 2K range normally can remove some of these higher frequencies that you don't really need on a kick, while allowing these mid-range frequencies that can still give it a bit of punch and a bit of, I don't want to say power, but a bit of power to the kick, which, sure, you can have like a really subby bassy kick, but having that slightly more natural kick can definitely work better in some cases, which I've done. And then some distortion, of course. Subtle distortion, I think this is a preset, yeah, warm distortion. So yeah, I mean, 82 BPM. Like most of the tracks on this album, quite slow, definitely faster than some of my previous stuff, but 82 seems like it hits the mark a bit. 4/4 time signature. Yeah, I mean, that's all there really is to it. And like I've said a million times so far, I'll see you in 2 weeks when it's, pretty much finished. Yeah, sweet.